Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. In the last part we made our way down to Haiti after finishing off Mugshot in Mesa City, and now it's time for this level.
What's with this industrial strength voodoo gate? Miss Ruby must really be trying to keep something out.
Or maybe she's trying to keep something in.
You look to the left of this, the gate and it just says beware of dog. And it's just like a little chihuahua. The ornate castle for the tiniest of creatures. So because we got the rope slide at the end of Mesa City, a lot of the levels here in Haiti, especially early on, are all focused around it. And they do some neat set piece stuff with it here and again, but it definitely makes for a pretty tedious world in some parts of a revisit, I won't lie. Though there's something very specifically funny I know you can do in this stage, and I think when I was doing time trial stuff down the line, I ended up doing it. You can, using that platform you were just on, jump to the wall that surrounds the entire level and completely skip the level by walking along the wall.
That's amazing.
I learned that by watching a speedrun of this from a Games Done Quick several years ago. This level was one of my least favorites in the game, though, as a kid. Not because it's actively hard, but because it intimidated me more than the rest of the world already did. As I brought up last time, this place kind of scared me a little bit between the spiders, the large insects, and the just dreary atmosphere. But this level's main thing especially just, I was like, nope, I'm good. How do I leave? Get me out of here. So at what point do the mosquitoes stop being just standard insects and start being citizens of the world like Sly, Bentley, and Murray?
Probably at this point.
These walls are making me claustrophobic. Whoa! See those reeds move? There's something huge under there. You better get going.
Bentley, I'm fine. It's probably just a chihuahua. Sly, what kind of chihuahuas live under massive muck? My chihuahua, when I was a kid. What? I think my least favorite part of this world, though, largely comes down to one specific level down the line, and I think it's like one of the 3 levels people who grew up with this game usually malign the most to a point where it impeded their progress. We'll talk about that, I think, by next part, though. Well, there's the minigame mechanic. Oh, thank God, it waits for you to fall into the muck. So we got a giant snake following us. Surprise, surprise, it just damages you / kills you because of this game's HP system. But look at it. When I was a little kid, it was just intimidating as hell to look at. Although nowadays look at it and I just kind of go, you know, it's kind of adorable. It's so silly looking. I gotta backtrack for that one bottle. No!
Thanks a lot, Snake.
Colonel.
Well, I kind of get it in that, when we're little kids, a lot of this stuff is kind of heightened in our memories. And, like, this probably, to your kid brain, looked a lot more realistic than it actually does.
On top of that, we're just not used to levels of, like, high intensity like that all of a sudden coming from nowhere. Mm-hmm. Because, like, that's why we didn't watch horror a lot in my house as a kid, because I was really susceptible to really intense situations like that. Whereas nowadays, I'm like, yeah, no, I love horror. Bring it on. There's that bottle. Now we come over here, and we can get ourselves the power-up.
I had to overcome some personal demons to get the answer to this one. Try 4, 4, 4.
I would have laughed so hard if it was 666.
I mean, isn't that sort of the Japanese equivalent to that?
Oh, true! True, that's very true.
Ah, a more modern entry. Bruce O'Coop's computer hacking technique. Using the data on this page, I should be able to tap the duty roster in each hideout and project guard information into your binocucom.
So this isn't a handy power-up, it's a funny one. Effectively now, whenever there's an enemy nearby, you can enter your binocucom, And if you highlight an enemy with it, it'll give you their enemy name, as well as I think like a like and dislike, and it's usually some sort of joke or pun. It's just for fun. But at the same time, that could help you identify enemies from a distance and maybe help you figure out what you want to do to deal with them in the case they're a specific enemy type.
Kind of like the Ape Escape thing.
The monkey radar? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I showcase it in this next level or on this guard once I'm on the other side of him. Nope. I just decided to smack him. Well.
You didn't like how that guy was looking at you.
I wasn't looking at you at all. Exactly. I'm the star. Come on. Okay. This is another level I'm not too fond of, mostly for length reasons.
Cat Ghost.
Sly, you'd better be on your guard here. My paranormal scanner shows this place is really haunted.
You don't say! What was your first clue? The walking trees?
Very interesting.
So, in this level, we're gonna have a bunch of those cat ghost enemies flying at us. They come from a little generator you can just swipe away with your cane. But while you're approaching it, you want to be constantly swinging your cane because they spawn in at such a rate where it's pretty easy to get overwhelmed in some smaller cases. I feel like part of the reason why I just don't like this world as much as some of the other ones in my memory, though, largely comes down to... I feel it's probably the most samey of most worlds in the game, barring the two, like, gimmick levels it has. Like, it doesn't do a lot to really distinctify itself besides the visual aesthetics, which isn't a bad thing inherently. It just feels kind of weird given how much the rest of the game at times can be like, here's our gimmick for this level or this world in specific.
There was an example of getting overwhelmed by those things.
Yep, it's very easy to do that there. I think I died there a lot as a kid. Not the most places I died in this world as a kid, though. That goes to one specific level that, once again, we'll talk about, I think, next time? Does go to show the game's length, though. We're already, I believe, at the halfway point of the LP, and we're 3 out of 5. We're about to be 3 out of 5, Fiendish 5 in. Sly 1 is not a very long game if you're just blazing through it and not worrying about getting 100%. And even then, if you're trying to do that, it doesn't really add that much to the length. Yeah, like right here's an example of what I was talking about a moment ago. Say one of the later power-ups from a Fiendish 5 member beat, the one we get from Ms. Ruby or any of the ones after her, allowed you to skip, say, this section here due to something going around the arena in a way that could have been nice to use. Going back for time trials using later abilities would be a lot more rewarding than it actively feels like it is, because as it is, they don't really help you. Which is something I think if they had continued in this general manner for level design, Sly 2 probably would have done. But given the different focus in Sly 2 beyond, I think they ultimately made the right choice all the same. Those jumps might look a little precise, by the way, because of how close I can pull them, but as long as you just jump and immediately press the circle button while you're aiming at the rope, you'll be fine. Those types of jumps are very hard to screw up, I find.
Yeah, generally the jump and hit the circle button, it's pretty accurate, which is nice.
If you hit it, you will, like, if you hit the button, you will not miss type deals. Like, it looks like you can. In fact, I think there's some cases where if you pull away at the last second, you can. But if you're just trying to go through, you'll make it no problem. This is a very kind game with its control, where what control issues the game has, the sparkles and circle button make up for with the precision that Sly actually has in going into it. Because if this game required complete precision, it probably would have been a nightmare.
God, those ghosts were just gunning for you.
Oh my god, Sly, we're such big fans! Oh god. Fangirls.
Where are the Phantom Thieves?
I don't play RPGs. The slightly annoying thing that this level adds to things, though, is because the world itself in general is just so green, It's surprisingly easy to miss clue bottles here because they're just blending into the background enough. Because, like, a lot of Raleigh is very blue or green, actually, I think about it because of the water. But, like, a lot of Mesa City is, like, purple and red in ways where clue bottles usually stand out pretty well. Here, like, there's enough hidden in the crooks of the level design, but also in the darkness that's just easy to completely walk past them. Well, I'm missing 2 once again. But thankfully, I can actually backtrack in this level. So, let's go see where I missed them. There they are. Just to the... Well, there's one of them just to the right of that door. That's evilly hidden. And the next one, a little further in, is just behind this particular tree root. Once again, kind of a dickish hiding place. But I guess if you're walking backwards through the level, that's the whole thing. It's like, okay, you just didn't look to your left or right, which it's kind of how they hide most of them.
Okay, this is kind of a guess, but try 128.
It should have been 1, 2, 3.
I was about to say the same thing. It's kind of a guess, but try 1, 2, 3. Bentley, there's no way that would be right. Oh my god, it worked.
These are the blueprints to Miss Ruby's production facility. I'll pipe this information into your binocucom. Use it to find breakables and clues nearby.
And nice to have that. I was here. The big thing, I think, with the way this game does its levels, and specifically how it separates them, I think there's points where there's just not enough difficulty separation between the end and start of a world, barring, like, the minigame levels, which are usually the most annoying, especially to younger players. Which, again, is probably partially the point, because it's meant to be a game for younger audiences, thus they probably want to pull things a little easier. But I feel like it would have also been really nice, even for the younger players, to have that more steady growth of difficulty throughout a world. But I guess to do that, they would have had to get rid of the sort of choose which level you want to do in which order kind of system, which, depending on how much they wanted that in the game, that probably would have been a problem, which that's something that Sly 2 admittedly fixes a lot of, once again. Where because they have the slightly sandbox thing, yes, there's some places where you have a choice of which mission to do first, but they're usually so focused on different things that, like, there's still a bit of a climbing difficulty throughout a given chapter. Ah, Piranha Lake. This level can kind of suck.
Sly, the only way to open up that voodoo gate is by lighting all 25 tiki torches with the flamethrower on your swamp skiff. Use the left analog stick to steer and press the X button to fire the flamethrower. Oh, and one more thing. You need fuel from the flamethrower, and the only source of oil are those piranha you see swimming around. Run them down with a boat. One fish fuels one shot. Hurry! You only have 2 minutes to get all the torches lit.
Why do we have a time limit?
Why does just crushing them give us the fuel we need?
You see, when he's crushing them, Sly is actually grabbing them and then chewing them really fast and then spitting them out of his mouth into the flamethrower. That's complete bullshit. I made that up. So, pretty straightforward. Light all the torches within 2 minutes. But you can only have a certain amount of shots at a time. I guess not a bad idea would be to just max out your supply and then go for the next 5 torches, but the rate at which the piranhas swim can be annoying and fast enough where it's actually pretty easy to lose track of where they might be in this level. I know I've gotten time overs in this level, albeit it's been a little bit. It's also kind of slippery because this skiff, as you can see, kind of bounces as you go along. Not a very... I said it sucks. It's not a very obtrusive level. It's just kind of annoying. It makes me wonder, in the case we actually ever do get a remake of this, what they'll do for minigame stages like this. Will they just turn them into like a side objective you can do along the line?
Would be nice.
Honestly, like a fun way to do a remake of this would probably be to just take the level structures and turn them into the Sly 2 onwards system, where it's like slightly open world stuff, but you can do things in slightly different orders, but also these are more treated as like optional mini games for power-ups potentially, or within that world kind of deal. Be a neat little thing to see happen. I forget if we've talked about that already. It's been a little bit since we recorded the last couple parts, I should note. Yeah, even that's a good example here. I'm pulling this kind of close. Because even with the amount of... Given how fast they are already, catching them can be really rough, but just the amount you have to do within the timer can put the strain on the timer as it is.
It's just... God, this is giving me a lot of anxiety.
Come on, come on. No, no, no. Oh, one left. As you can see, though, on the second try, I did that a lot faster.
Take that.
Piranha 3D was a bad movie, and you should feel bad. Sly, now's not the time to inject your thoughts on movies. If not now, then when?
When would it be better time, Bentley?
I'd watch Sly's movie reviews. Sly's YouTube channel where he reviews heist movies and rates them based on their realism, but also ingeniousness of the plans. Catch Me As You Can is a very entertaining movie, but its heist plot makes absolutely zero sense. If there's anything that's also kind of weird about this particular hub world, is that finding your way to the next level or where you need to go can actually be kind of hard just because of how samey everything looks. Go! Go, my snake! Be free, my pretty!
Devour all!
You just hear distant screams. Thank you!
I hated that Shadow of the Colossus boss.
Oh, God, don't remind me of that one. No. Oh, God, I hate that one. It's just... It's scary to begin with, but also it's just an annoying fight.
It really is.
Giant voodoo egg beater to stir up that unsanitary mess.
If I can unlock the cauldron's lid, I might be able to thrash their production and build up enough steam pressure to get launched up to Ruby's Skull Temple.
Okay, sounds like we've got a plan. To get around that thing, try moving in the shadows made by the masks so that the guards won't see you.
Sly, I'm noticing you have a trend of somehow rocketing yourself up towards a boss fight between this and Raleigh. Is this a cry for attention or help? Are you afraid of heights and trying to conquer in a really unhealthy way? That's not good, buddy.
It's possible.
But with that, we're going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in Part 7, we're actually going to finish our time in Haiti, if memory serves, before moving on to the next world. See you guys then.
So long.